guys, this is your girl Alexi, and you are listening to Red Carpet Fly Go-Getta podcast, where we talk about topics and people in the entertainment industry. Today, I have Baltimore native and rapper on the line, Hossacip. How you doing, Hossacip? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Tell me, what have you been doing since you've been quarantined? We're all on lockdown.
I know. Just watching videos, researching, trying to figure out ways to get my music out there, listening to podcasts, watching movies,
Hmm.
just trying to keep productive, working out. List goes on.
Now, are you currently in Baltimore?
Yes.
Now, how does the coronavirus look out there? Because I'm here in Los Angeles.
Okay. Well, the coronavirus out here, people are hard hit. So there's still people outside doing whatever they want to do, but it's strict orders for everybody to just be in the house unless you're going to the grocery store or the market or anything.
Okay, so it's like the same here in Los Angeles. We're under a shelter in place order, and you cannot leave unless you're an essential employee or an essential person. Um, or you're going to the supermarket or pharmacy. For the most part, people have been listening here in Los Angeles. There's a few people that I see out and about, but for the most part, everyone's been like staying inside, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The quicker we get this done, the better, because this coronavirus thing is crazy.
Exactly. Now, um, I was really interested in, when I was looking you up and going over your stuff. Explain a little bit about your name because you have a really unique way that you came up with your stage name. Can you just go into that a little bit?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, it's originally my name was Picasso, um, basically because I was inspired by Pablo Picasso.
Hmm.
And to me, music is self-expression, and self-expression is art. So when you think of art, you think of Picasso. So I took his name, but then I felt like I needed to, be a little original. So I added a silent H towards the end of the name, and then I reversed it. And then now it's like when you think of music, when you think of art, you think of Picasso. But now when you think of music, I want you to think of Hossacip. I just want to be one of the best.
Okay, yeah, no, I really like it, and it's very unique. I haven't heard no one that has anything close to that.
I know that was another thing because as soon as I typed it in the search engine Hossacip, and that was the first thing to pop up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. All I had to do was figure out an acronym. Once I got that down, I was good to go.
Now, talk a little bit about the acronym because I know that each letter is supposed to represent a certain thing. It represents something specific about your brand. So, can you go through the acronym?
Yes. Well, on paper, it may seem a bit complex, but when I'm at stages and performing it, it's like an introduction I do. I go by the name Hossacip, harmonious, optimistic, spontaneous, sufficient, artistic, constant innovation, prolific. That's Hossacip, just to be specific. So I just wanted to find something that just meant something to me and represented my music the best way I possibly can do.
Okay, I like that. I was reading that, but I like that when you said it. It definitely makes more sense now that you put it in a rhyme.
Yes.
Now, I know that you're out in Baltimore, and I know that you told me some of your earlier musical influences were like Eminem, Busta Rhymes, Method Man. Um, in your music, are we going to hear any of that type of Baltimore, or like what's the Baltimore sound? And are we going to hear any of that in your music, that influence?
Um, yeah, you will hear that regardless because it's all about honesty. I just want to step outside the box because not a shade to Baltimore artists because it is some Baltimore artists with different sounds,
Hmm.
but majority of Baltimore rappers really sound the same. So I didn't want to duplicate that because that would put me in the same box, same category. But you'll definitely hear my version of Baltimore because it's not just The Wire. It's not just like poverty and things of that nature, but you'll definitely hear that raw, edgy, grimy sound. You actually can get uh, 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 preview of that edgy sound in my song Different Approach.
Hmm.
That's more gritty, that's more dark. Then I got a song called A Baltimore Tale. And it's basically about just a very popular rapper that was right on his way of making it out of the city. He got a nod from Diddy himself. Diddy posted him on his Instagram saying, "Keep up the good work." But then he got caught in the mix coming back to a charity event and got killed. So my record, A Baltimore Tale, is definitely uh, basically a representation of the city and what's going on.
What is the Baltimore sound? See, I don't even know what the Baltimore sound is. Like, if you could describe it, is it just dark and gritty, or because like Louisiana has that like bounce music. The South, the South is very like it's like basically like kind of twerking music, and then you have New York. New York
Right.
is very like they're really lyricists there. So what's the Baltimore sound?
Okay, well, Baltimore sound originally is club music.
Okay.
So uh, New Jersey actually takes our shine, but really we really started it, like the club music.
Mhm.
Um, Also, right now, Baltimore sounding like Chicago trap music.
Okay.
You know, that's so that's really the Baltimore sound right now. Club music and just Chicago trap music, honestly.
Now, I have like so many questions for you, and I'm going to jump around a little bit, so just stick with me here. Um, Now, I know you said that you hear a lot of grittiness and darkness in Baltimore kind of rap, but your music, surprisingly, especially the song that you currently have out called uh, is it called?
These moments,
I'm sorry.
capture these moments.
Capture these moments exactly. That is a really inspirational and positive song. So I kind of wanted to go into what inspired Capture These Moments.
Capture these moments was inspired by just the energy within that I created for myself. Even though I might be um surrounded by negativity, that isn't what I need to project in my music. I can be open minded enough to put something out there that could be vibrant and positive and even can make its way into like a movie soundtrack. I honestly feel like that type of record belongs in like a movie soundtrack because
Mhm.
I'm big on movies. So I really like the music that's in the background that just makes the scenes more dramatic.
Mhm.
And so that's that type of record I made that for. You
Yeah.
know.
Now, did you make this specifically so that maybe you can pitch it to be in a movie, or this is just kind of what you were feeling at the time?
Oh, definitely kind of how I was feeling at the time. It was just
Mhm.
a natural moment. I felt something. So I just wanted to pin it down real quick. I heard the beat and it was produced by my best friend. He's a producer from Baltimore. It was produced by Deck 93
Mhm.
and he sent it right over and I just started freestyling into it, got my pen and my pad and the rest was history.
Well, let me tell you, it was really refreshing. Actually, I was surprised, like pleasantly surprised, because I was thinking, like, okay, rapper. I'm thinking that you're probably gonna fall into like one or two categories. You're gonna be rapping about either girls, money, or it's gonna be kind of like trap, where it's about like maybe drug culture. So to have something that's so positive that was like coming through, I was surprised, and yeah, like I really like this record. I like it. It's really nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hmm. Now, I want to go back a little bit because you said your earlier influences were like I said, 50 Cent, Eminem, and Busta Rhymes. But as you have grown and developed as an artist, your sound has kind of changed, and now you kind of have different, um, I guess, artists that kind of inspire you, like J. Cole and Kanye. Is that still hold true, or do you have more influences, even outside of rap, that may influence your music?
Oh, that's a good question. Of course, like Drake,
Hmm.
but you know, I listen to just about everybody in rap, or at least I try to get them a chance. And I always try to figure out why they are popping, and I always try to not duplicate it, but try to make my best version of it and see if I can step in that way. I always try to challenge myself musically, but I also listen to alternative music,
Okay.
Coldplay. I love listening to old school music. um, Force MDs, Jodeci, 112, Guy. Like the list goes on and on and on. It's a lot of artists I listen to, and I may just know them by the songs, so not even the artist. Like, oh, he made that song, you know. So I listen to whatever moves me, whatever moves me. It could
Mm-hmm.
be country, it could be blues, whatever. I'm not closed minded. I'm very open minded when it comes to music.
Now, since you listen to everything, and you're trying to see what's popping, tell me who's popping in your opinion. Who's popping in these streets right now?
Um, oh, of course, you got Drake, you got J. Cole, you got Kendrick, but you also got NBA YoungBoy, you got Lil Baby, he on fire right now. You
Okay,
know, and
so
you will hear,
So
yeah.
like, okay, so Drake, because of course Drake just dropped his song, just a few days ago, so that's hot. But okay, so but like, see, J Cole is like, to me, he's more of like, a conscious rapper. He hasn't had
Mhm.
anything too recently, and you don't hear him in like, the DJ spins and everything like that. So who did you say? The Baby is really hot right now, I would think.
Yeah, the Baby and Lil Baby, yep, both of them.
Mhm. Mhm. So okay. So I hear what you're saying. Now, if you could
Yep.
work with any of these artists, who would you work with and why?
Oh wow. Um,
Or it doesn't even have to be these artists, not the ones that are popping. If you could just work with someone in the industry, who's that person that you really, really want to work with?
I would probably want to build with a producer,
Okay.
and a producer that's capable of making a cohesive project. Maybe like No ID. Um, what's Guru? I know
Okay.
he don't make beats, but he's an engineer. From Jay Z camp. Guru.
Mhm.
Um, Jay Z, a verse from Jay Z would be that'd be So I kind of aim for the fence, but I always just try to build.
Mhm.
I just don't want to make a record with somebody just because it always got to make sense.
Okay. Now, what's been the hardest thing as an up and coming artist that you've had to face?
Promoting, like being very persistent, and you may look at not looking back basically because of what's going on right now. It may not be many eyes on me right now, but I still have to keep pushing. I still have to keep putting that music out there, and I have to be consistent. So I
Mhm.
gotta say that's probably one of the hardest things right now when like you really giving it your all, but you're not getting back what you expected or what you projected it to be, but you got to keep it pushing.
Now, how does the creative process work for you? Because as you say, you're talking about promoting and everything. Like, how does it work with your creative process? Are you trying to put out songs, every few months, every 6 months, every year? How does that work? How does your creative process work?
Well, right now, I'm writing, trying to gear up for a project, but eventually, I want to like just stay consistent, putting out music, doing more videos. So I got a plan once all this quarantine thing stuff is over with, just to drop a song at least every 2 weeks or so. Like whether it be a freestyle video or a new single or a video or whatever, just always stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Build YouTube page up, build my Instagram page up because there's people getting paid off of that. Like it's influencers that's not affected during this quarantine because that's what they get paid off doing, like just being behind the camera and putting out their art or their content.
Exactly. Exactly. So after the quarantine's over, you're gonna put out music every 2 weeks. That reminds me of like Kanye's Good Friday, because he used to put out music like every Friday for I think it was like 6 months to a year,
Yeah,
and then he made an album out of it. And he had his different various artists come out on every Friday. So I
I
think
know
that's a
exactly.
really good plan. Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Open mics, definitely. I miss that now. Like being in a house, you you just look at the things you took for granted, and
Mm-hmm.
now that once we get back out, I gotta remember these times. Like, okay, I wasn't able to do that, but now I can, so I gotta make time for it.
Now, do you do any ciphers? Because I did read in your bio that you sent me that you did do open mics. Do you do any ciphers?
I've been in a cipher before, but not often. It's more so me just performing my record or me doing an acapella.
Mm-hmm.
So not too many cycles.
Okay. Now,
I've been in a test before. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, I'm
I've been in
sorry.
a rap.
Say that again.
I said I've been in a rap contest. Maybe I think like twice. So in a competitive nature, that's like a cipher like type of thing, but
Okay.
not too many.
I'm getting the feeling that that's not your thing. You don't like to be in that type of like arena.
No, I want to say that I just haven't been in that too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
it's more so me just performing a song.
Now, when you do the open mics, so when you're doing the open mics, oh, you go and you do your rap songs, or do you do like a spoken word type piece? Like, how does that work out?
So the open mics I went to, I performed my project Checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 5-track demo project, Checkpoint, which has the Capture These Moments record on there that we spoke about, the Baltimore Tale record, Different Approach, Introducing the Mama, and a couple more records that I performed, Big Guap. So it's always original content, never remixed over another rapper's beat. It's always a song I made, and I'll just get into a acapella, like if I'm just in that element, whereas though I just want to try new songs or new material that I just wrote but never released.
Now, do you make beats also?
No, I
Okay.
tried, but I failed.
Well, you can't be good at it all, right? Like, your
Right.
talent is to make to rhyme. So, because we have some rappers out here that aren't lyricists, they make things that you can bop to, basically.
I
So,
understand.
yeah, so no, I definitely understand, and I have a lot of respect for rappers that really appreciate the art form of writing and having something worth saying on their records.
Exactly. Yes.
Hmm. So, I don't want to hold you too long. I really appreciate you doing this interview. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on YouTube, Hossacip, anything social media regarding Instagram, YouTube, and that's just about you can just type me in Google too, actually. Hossacip.
Okay. And if we want to listen to Capture These Moments, where do we go to hear the song?
I'm glad you asked that. You can go on YouTube, type in Hossacip. That's Hossacip, capture these moments. You can also find me on SoundCloud as well.
Okay.
And never
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was that?
No, I was just saying it's on SoundCloud as well, capture these moments.
Thank you so much, Hossacip. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was an honor.
Okay, guys, that's it for Red Carpet Fly Go Get a Podcast. Make sure you check out Hossacip's song Capture These Moments on SoundCloud and follow him on his social media at Hossacip. And until next time, always stay fly.